Welcome to another PC Sports Cards PSA submission reveal. We've had a lot of requests for a bulk order, so we have one here for you now. We are PC Sports Cards. We're the largest PSA group submission. We send in about 10 to 12,000 cards a week. We get about 5 to 8,000 cards back. This was a bulk submission, which means that the declared value limit is $99. You could really be sending up to $200, but $99 is the technical limit. We shipped it on 7/1. It got checked in a month later, which is a good amount of time for a bulk order. And then it came back on 12/23. So under 6 months all in on this order. Right now we're saying about 6 to 8 months for submissions. This was an ultra modern order. And without further ado, let's just get started on this one. We've been putting a lot of standard orders up and a lot of express orders up lately. And a lot of people are asking us about bulk because they don't see as many of them. Because honestly, there's just a lot of the same kind of cards in here. So let's go through what some people are doing and some of our customers, what they're doing with their submissions. This order, as the opening said, we had 63% PSA 10s and 36% PSA 9s. For you math majors out there or non-math majors out there, that's 99% or a 9 or better. There's actually only one card in this order that was under a 9. I got an 8. So really good order overall. 63% is a good rate. Have some Lamar Jackson second-year prisms. And in this one, I was actually surprised. There's not that many 5, 10, 20 card runs of the same player, same card. So we're going to see a lot of different cards. A gold Daniel Jones. This is numbered 3 of 50. PSA 9. Jarrett Stidham. More Jarrett Stidham. Probably going to be the starter next week. Cam Newton's terrible, obviously. We're going to go over a few cool cards, a few ideas on how to invest and what you should be doing right now. You know, football season, we're getting to the playoffs. Basketball season's just starting. Are you buying, selling? Who are you buying? Who are you selling? You know, what are we actually doing with these cards going forward? What are we planning on doing with quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, big men, superstars, etc. So we have a lot of cool information to share with you. Some really good examples in this submission of cards to grade and some examples of cards not to grade. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the little bell, get alerts whenever we put submissions in. I probably should have done that a little earlier in the video, but getting a little tired already. We do have a run here of Mahomes. We had 6 of these 2018 Mahomes sent in, and only one of them got a 10. So we're just gonna skip over them. You know, it's not a card we see. It's not a card we don't see a lot. So we're gonna skip over it. You know, I don't want to waste your time. I don't really want to waste my time. So when we get to runs like that, we're just gonna go a little bit quicker. SGA PSA 9. 2018 Select Silver Durant. So this is a great card. There's probably not a lot of these graded. Actually, the next one's the one we're going to talk about. The first conversation piece we have here is 2017 Select Silver Prism Durant. Now, you know, 10th year card of Durant. Not really many people grading it. And to show you that, we actually already have it pulled up on our screen. There's only been 9 total silver prisms graded from 2017 Select of Kevin Durant. So you got a PSA 10 on this card. I don't know what this card sells for raw. I didn't do the research into it. I'm going to guess it's not very expensive, but considering it's a Pop 7, remember Pop is how many of the card are graded in a certain grade. Since it's a Pop 7, if you're putting a Durant collection together, this is a card that you're going to want in your PSA 10 collection. If you look up, if we go back to this actually, monitor, if we go back to this, there are 0 PSA 10s of the base card. So that's probably a card you can get for under $10. And you could probably, if you get the first PSA 10 of that card, I wouldn't be surprised if you get $50 to $100 for it. Now, we're talking about $15 to grade it. We're talking about potentially $25 to grade it. You have to get that 10, but you're still making $25, $30. If you could scour the market a little bit to see those cards that there aren't that many of them graded, you have a real opportunity to get ahead on superstars. One thing that's not talked about a lot is the PSA set registry. So the PSA set registry is where you're going to go and if you collect PSA cards, you could put your cards into a registry and get it ranked versus everybody else. So I'm sure, I don't know for a fact, I don't have one. I don't have a Durant one. But I'm sure there are people out there collecting every single Durant card. And if you have the only PSA 10, now yours is going to be ahead of everybody else's. You're into sports cards? Most likely, you're into competition. Do you want to have the best registry or do you not want to have the best registry? And that's one of those big things that add value to PSA cards over other ones. And this is a great order with a lot of low pop Durant cards. Not that many sent in. Again, we have a low serial number here, 249. You know, not that many sent in. And it's a chance to get cards that nobody else has graded. Sure, other people will grade them down the line, but you're going to have the first one. And if you're doing this to sell it and to make money, somebody's going to pay a premium for that first one because they don't know when the next one's going to come around. Maybe they're not into actually getting the cards graded. Curry Silver PSA 9. Kawhi. So we could talk about Kawhi a little bit. I know I said this yesterday or the day before, and if you agree or disagree, tell me what you think. But down 77-27 at halftime without Kawhi, to me, he's our MVP this year. You know, they're going to be a top 3 seed. Without him, they're down 50 at halftime. That's pretty insane. Grant Levine. Some more Grant Levine. Great time to get baseball back. Start stacking those baseball cards up to start selling in a couple months. So these people were sending the cards in July. They probably were expecting them back, maybe around now, but probably January, February, so they have them ready for the season. Jordan Adams, PSA 9. Again, reminder, we did 63% PSA 10s and 36% PSA 9s. So we had an overall really, really solid gem rate and an overall solid mint rate. You know, you're spending $12 or $15 a card. You know, it was 12, now it's 15 for Ultra Modern. So you're spending that much money on a card. If you get 9s and 10s, you're at least breaking even and most likely making money along the way. Andrew Vaughn, big prospect. Kybert Heritage Minor League. Again, a lot of low pop cards. What you're seeing here, which is, I bet you when you saw that this was a bulk submission, you probably thought, oh, I'm going to see 4,000 of the same card. Well, 400 or 40 of the same card. Vintage stock, 92 of 99. You know, you expected to see that, right? Kyle Lewis, 25, 3 orders of 25. You know, a lot of people grade different cards. You know, this is a great time to get these baseball cards back. Fielding Vlad. You know, this is a pretty diverse order for a bulk submission. One thing that we've talked about in the past is the submissions that we have. We have a bulk submission, a standard submission, and an express submission. Our bulk submission runs from $9 to $15 a card, depending on what era you're using, right? If it's vintage or gaming, it's $9. I would expect the gaming to go up next year. If you're looking at modern, which is going to be 1972 to 2017, starting on January 1st, you're looking at, I think it's $10 a card. And then you're looking at ultra modern 2018 and newer, you're going to be looking at $15 a card. So those used to be called 45-day and 20-day levels. They're no longer called that. All submitters were asked to change that. We have to do it. We haven't gotten it done yet. Tatis PSA 10. This is a buy. All these cards that we're showing you right now, 9s and 10s of Topps Update and Top Series 2 of these key baseball players, they're all buys right now. Stack them for a couple months and you're going to make a lot of money. So we were asked to take that off because they can't reach the turnaround times. They're looking at 6 to 8 months on bulk, looking at 3 to 4 months on standard. So they asked us to remove those times. So we're going to take them off so we don't get the question, what's your 20-day running, what's your 45-day running? It's just going to be standard in bulk. Our express is still considered a 5-day submission, even though it's about a month. So we're going to call that express. We might have 5-day in quotes or something on it, but that we're going to be looking at 3 to 4 weeks altogether for that submission. Next up, we have Nick Bosa. And earlier in the video, we talked about cards not to submit. And we have the real winner here. Cards not to submit. Dwayne Haskins. From the draft, from when the draft started, I was very anti-Dwayne Haskins. People were complaining, oh, why did the Giants take Daniel Jones? Dwayne Haskins was there. He was terrible. And now he's cut. So when people say, oh, there's no way to lose money, there's no way to do this, there's no way to do that, you know, if you're buying Dwayne Haskins cards and sending them in, you are losing money. This is one of our best customers' cards. He knows I'm playing around with him, but Dwayne Haskins, man, do not send in Dwayne Haskins cards. If they're in your grading pile, pull them out right now. Do not send these cards in. Shameless plug, that card is most likely going to be on our consignment auctions coming up in the next week because I'm sure this guy does not want that card. Next up, we got Scottie Pippen, the guy who made Jordan as good as he was. This is actually a really, really sweet card. Garnett, old school, black and white looking. That's pretty sweet. You know, but we can have that Dwayne Haskins conversation a little bit longer. You know, nobody really expected him to get cut. Charles Barkley, this is a cool card. Blue fluorescent, this is going to be numbered to 15. You know, nobody expected him to be cut in the beginning of the year, but, you know, quarterbacks are a risk. You're taking a risk when you're getting them, but it's another good example of get those cards graded when you're going to sell them, right? So we know that before the season, you could have sold that Dwayne Haskins cards for probably 30 or 40 bucks. You know, maybe not a base prism raw, but you know, you could sell that card for some money. If you don't believe in a player, don't put your money into the player. Don't get the card graded. Be smart about it. Not every card needs to get graded. You know, again, you know, we talk every time we do this about making money and about how our business is to grade your cards, right? But I'd rather educate you. We'd rather educate you on what to send in to make you smarter and make you understand the market a little bit more, help you understand the market a little bit more, so you can make more educated decisions. And instead of being like, a lot of people are like flashing the pan in the sports card market. Oh, sports card market's super hot. I'm going to go make a ton of money, blah, blah, blah. But you don't learn anything. And what happens is, it's sort of like the old adage. Do you want me to give you a fish or do you want me to teach you how to fish? You know, I'd rather teach you how to fish so you could learn for yourself. You know, people that will charge you to grade, to look over your cards, you could teach yourself. Don't pay them. You know, you're not learning anything. You're basically saying that you're handicapped in looking at the cards, right? Do not fall for that. You could learn. It's not rocket science, guys. We're looking at baseball cards. We're looking at basketball cards. We're looking at football cards. You can all do it. We have a section on our website that is called Grading 101, and it'll walk you through our process of looking cards over, you know? And I'm not going to say we're perfect, but when we send orders in, we go 75, 80%, which is our goal. Our goal for every order is 75 to 80%. Because if you're going 100%, you're not sending in every card that's going to grade. If you're going 50%, you're sending in way too many cards, right? You don't understand what you're looking for. Be careful with what you're picking out. Be careful with what you're sending in. Trae Young, this is a great card right now. I mean, all Trae Young stuff is on fire. So you want to be in that 75 to 85% range. That's why when this was 63%, I was pretty happy with it. It means that people are looking and learning what they're going to send in. Trae Young got game. You know, I talked to one of my customers, one of my longtime customers about it, and he said one of his friends used to use a service that would look over cards for them. He got those cards back, and that person was so picky on the cards to send in that he had a stack of 100 cards that he sent in, and he went 60% on the stack of 100 cards. Now, he could have sold those raw, but think about how much money he would have left on the table. You know, that's why. Teach yourself. Write down notes. It used to be a lot easier. It's expensive now to do it. It's a long waiting period. You know, you can examine cards in slabs, but it's not rocket science, guys. Look at the corners. If you don't see white, good. Look at the surface. If you don't see scratches, good. If you see a little dimple, not the end of the world. Centering. I mean, all you have to do is know the side where the sides are supposed to line up. You know, edges, again, sharpness. If there's a big ding in it, it's not going to grade. You know, if there's a little white showing, it's not the end of the world. One corner with a little white, not the end of the world. 2, 3 corners with white, yeah, I wouldn't send that in. Steph Curry camo. You know, and all these cards, All these cards going 75%. This one was 63%, like I said a few times. But all of these cards, this may not be a home run, but you add up all the singles and doubles from this order, it's plus 40, plus 40, plus 40, plus 40, plus 40, plus 40, plus 40. And you put in a 50-card order, 40 times 50, $2,000. You know, it adds up really, really quick. Then you get some of the better cards mixed in. You know, like, or you see something like Braun, and all the Braun cards in Lakers jerseys have exploded. You know, you see these 10 plus 40. You know, it's probably more than plus 40 right now. Zion plus 150. You know, Zion PSA 10 again plus 100. Not as desirable of a card. Plus 100. You know, all of a sudden it adds up. It's not always about buying the high-end card and making $1,000, $2,000 in a shot, right? Buy what's in your budget. One advantage that you have using our services is that we'll sell the cards on consignment for you. So you don't even take the money out of your pocket. We'll spot the money for the submission. We're gonna hold on to your cards until they sell, until you're ahead, but you're not gonna take an extra $1 out of your pocket. Look at all these PSA 10 plus 50. Hero Silver plus 100 or 200, you know, maybe more. PSA 10 plus 50 plus 100 plus 75. You know, like every one. Like look at this run of Heroes. You know, you hit a 9, you break even, so it's not a loss. So that's the big thing with 9s getting to breaking even now, right? Since you're breaking even on them, now it's really easy to make money. It used to be that you lost money if you got 9s. Now the way the market is, you're making money. Bobby Witt paper, PSA 10. Even if it's plus $25, who cares? Plus 25, 50, 100. Plus 75, sorry. And then, oh look, another one. Boom. You know, it's like, I'll say it over and over again. It's not about the grand slams. Hit the singles and doubles. Get on base. And get that money in. All right, we are about halfway through this 305 card order. The Volpe. Notice how we do have some baseball coming back. Mostly basketball, handful of football, little bit of baseball. See that in a lot of these orders that were sent in July and August. People were planning for the basketball season, planning for the playoffs for basketball. This 2020 Bowman Chrome probably came out 2 weeks before this submission went in. So these are probably some of the first of these cards graded. You're going to get a premium when you're the first one graded, because people sent in bulk. People spent $15 a card, not 25. Ooh, Bam Adebayo, orange, number 2/199. Collins Hollow. Collins White Prism, number 2/149. Collins Silver Prism. Jaren Jackson Hollow. So, guys, I know we say this every time, but come 2008, I mean, this is plus $200. Luka rookie, plus $200, right? A lot of money there. And if it's your collection, even better, right? Now you have a more valuable collection. Personally, what I would say is get a bunch of those, sell them, and trade up to something that you really want. Use it to trade up. Use it to get something that you really want to collect. Use these smaller pieces to get a bigger piece. Ayton. Trey Shock. Trey Shock. So one of the things we want to talk about is what are you doing with your cards for football players that are going into the playoffs? Personally, these, Baker Mayfield, I'm a sell on Baker Mayfield. I'm a strong sell on Baker Mayfield. Are the Browns going to win the Super Bowl? Think about how bad he was in the beginning of the year. Do you think he's actually a good quarterback? I don't. He's got great weapons and can barely do anything. I'm a sell on Baker Mayfield. If you think they have a chance at going far in the playoffs, maybe it's a good time to buy. You know, you might have a guy like Kyler who you like. I don't think they're going to be good either. Or, you know, Tannehill can make a deep run. Somehow he's undervalued still. But anybody that you don't think, like Daniel Jones, sell. He's probably going to be the starter next year. You know, sell now. And it's not even sell to get out. It's sell because they're just going to go down a little bit more, right? Not every bit of profit is from something going up. If you could sell this PSA 10 Daniel Jones for whatever they are, $200 maybe, $250, who knows? You probably know better than me. But you sell that for $250, and then in 3-4 months, it's $150. You could buy it back, and you just made $100, and you were able to use your money. You know, if you think like these guys the Giants aren't going to the playoffs. You know, Giants are probably getting a top 10 pick. They're not going to the playoffs. Sell. Buy back during basketball season, and then go on from there, right? You don't need to hold them just because it's dead inventory. Just because it's a dead stock, dead inventory, doesn't mean you need to hold it and wait for it to come back. Sell it, and if you want to time it right, figure out when the right time to buy. For football, I would say it's February to May. Those 3 months are a really good time to buy football. You know. May, June, July, really good. Once you start getting late July, August, now you're really in upswing. People are really thinking about football season. So you may be too late then, but even if you buy back at 175 and it drops a little bit more, who cares, right? These mosaics all dropped. Mosaic PSA 10s of Zion dropped. Now they're coming back, right? They're coming back really, really strong. Ja. What do you do with Ja now that he got hurt? Well, we don't know the seriousness of the injury. So we don't know the seriousness of the injury. Is he out for a month? Is he out for 2 months? You know, if he's out for a month, buy the dip. Buy when it goes down. If his prism went from 900 to 700, 650, buy. It's going to go back up. He's an explosive young superstar. It's not a serious injury. Didn't Luka get hurt the same way last year? Okay. Kobe White. This is a good run of cards to talk about because there's a lot of variety here. Kobe White, do you think that the Bulls are a playoff team? You know, I know it's early in the season, but to me, the Bulls aren't a playoff team. This is another one. Take advantage of a strong market right now. Sell it. See what else comes out. See what else you could buy and see what else you can get into for a reasonable price. It doesn't need to be these exact cards. Maybe you could sell all those and put your money into one better card. Maybe in 3 months you could buy a Kobe Silver Prism PSA 10. You know, who knows? Who knows what that market's going to be? But unless these guys are their team superstar, unless these guys are playoff bound, don't expect massive, massive jumps. John Moran again. You know, a lot of mosaic coming back. Darius Garland. I mean, he's had a hot start to the season. Again, same thing with him and Kobe White and Sexton on the same team. You know, are they going? How far are they going? How good are the Cavs? That's why, to me, we're talking. Nice. I'm a buyer on Tatum. I'm a buyer on Kawhi. You know, I'm a buyer on Giannis. Like all those names. Hell, I'm almost a buyer on the Hawks because I think they can get into the playoffs and they might be able to win a few games. But they're not. I don't think they're a championship team yet. Tatum Optic. Like to me, I know it was $300 a couple weeks ago. I'm a buy. This is $450 to me. This has upside of $450 in the next couple weeks. My mind. Listen, been right, been wrong. People, not everybody can afford the Prism. Not everybody can afford the higher end stuff. But I'd rather buy Optic and I'd rather buy Select than buy Chronicles or whatever other brand comes out next week. If you can't get the Chrome, get the base. Get the Donruss. Deontay Johnson, Red Ice. Lamar, Red Ice. Marquise Brown. He's, to me, all these young receivers. To me, I'm spreading my money across 5 or 10, maybe even 20 guys when it comes to young receivers and running backs. And if 25% of them hit, I'm going to make a killing. I'm not going to try to pick out the winner. Too much variety. I'm not going to try to pick out the winner. I'm just going to spread it out a little bit. LeBron finalists. Russell Wilson silver. Hardman Jr. Red, white, and blue. Duncan. Top 5 player all time. Don't chuckle over there. Top 5 player all time. Guys in the office are chuckling because I said that. Get the hell out of here. Alexander Madison. You know, again, not as bad. We're not talking as bad as whatchamacallit? As Dwayne Haskins, but like, I mean, I know you're playing on the Dalvin Cook getting hurt kind of card there. Maybe it's a stash. Terry McLaurin. Marquise Brown. Shame Lamar Jackson's one of the most inaccurate quarterbacks ever. Freaking athlete, though. Again, coming up next, we have another guy that I am a buyer on, DK Metcalf. Put him in the list of the receivers that I'm buying. Minshew. I wish I still had my stinky thing, even though he got a 10. I mean, love his mustache, love his arm, loves to sling the ball. He rocks jorts like I like to rock, but I just, where's he going to be a backup next year? He's not starting. You know, Trevor Lawrence is going there. Josh Jacobs, put him on my buy list. It's a good submission also because it's 2 or 3 of every guy. Right? There's not an overwhelming amount. So you took your small chances. Miles Sanders, I said the other day, he looked good the other night. To me, every Brady, every Mahomes, I'm grading them. I mean, even if they're $5 or $10 cards, send them in for bulk. Who cares? You get them back, you get $40 out of it. Plus 15, plus 15, plus 15, plus 15, plus 15. Just keep on locking up that money. It all adds up. It all adds up. Giannis. RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett. Oh, was that our PSA 8? Yep, this is our one lone non-9 or 10 in the order. So let's look at it real quick. All right, let's see if I can get a... I don't know how this got an 8. It says like creases going through the bag. This should be lower than an 8. Whoever submitted this got very lucky that this is an 8. This is like a 5. So I don't know if you could really see it. You could see one little crease there. Let me see if I could zoom, if I could focus on it real quick. Wrong way. You can see when I'm focusing. Like you see one there, and there's another one right there. So got a lucky grade on that one. Doncic. Oh, Keke. Good name to say. Kobe Pink Camo. Again, same story, guys. You're making your money, you're moving on. You're making your money, you're moving on. We have one more main topic that I want to talk about when we get to. We have some Herbert cards later on. We're getting through the end of this thing. There are some Justin Herbert cards that I want to go through, and I want to give you my take on those. So stick with us. You know, we're getting to that 30-minute mark right now. RJ Barrett. You know, a lot of pink camo. I'm just gonna skip over a few of these. Got a Doncic reactive blue again. You're breaking even with your 9s. You're making money on your 10s. So all I would do is when I'm getting these orders ready, I'd make sure I'm getting a 9 on the card and hope I can get a 10 on it. You know, you don't have to be super picky to get all 10s. If you go 75%, you're making money. If you go 60%, you're making money, just like normal gambling. Ja Morant PSA 9, you're making money in a Ja Morant PSA 9 mosaic right now. Kobe White, another Kobe White. I love these cards, right? We got Trout Refracted from Heritage, number to 5 something or other, 571. That is such a cool looking card. All right, so now what we got to is what I wanted to talk about. We got to Justin Herbert draft pick silvers. We have a run of them, so I'm just going to skip. I'm going to show the 9s and the 10s, or the 9 and the 10. So this is a card that I want to be very clear about. I'm a big believer in Justin Herbert. On the same exact conversation, I am a big believer in selling these cards. Why am I a believer in selling these cards? College uniform, first of all. Second of all, silver PSA, $52 for a PSA 9. There was one $72 for a silver and a purple PSA 9. So $50 or $60 for a PSA 9 silver. Remember, these are silvers; these aren't base, right? PSA 10, $228. And if you just take the word PSA out and you see what these things sell for raw, $20. You take $20 here, you move it into this card, you add another 15, so you're in $35. A 9, you're breaking even, making 10, 15 bucks. A 10, you're making $200 on a $35 investment. You're making 600 times your money. For a college uniform card, long term on that card, you are not looking at a ton of value long term on that card. There's not a ton of upside. What you're looking at is profit to move into something else. You can buy, for the profit you get on that card, you can get a Prism, you can get 1 or 2 actually right now, Prism base cards. Those start bumping to PSA 10s. All of a sudden, you're getting 200 to 400, you're probably getting $400, $350, $400 for a PSA 10 there. All of a sudden, you're $35 in a couple months. If you got the right cards and you look them over properly and you understand what you're doing, you could be up at $800 really quickly. And I will bet that even PSA 9s, you're going to make money on grading those cards. Probably a standard card. I'd probably start sending the Prisms in standard instead of in bulk, so you could be getting them back a little bit faster. I know you don't want to sell them till the season starts, but if you're a churn kind of investor where you're just trying to go through it as fast as possible and get that money working for you over and over again, instead of one time at a time, you know, instead of letting it sit, then it's definitely a card that you can move through. I don't know many people that are putting together long-term PCs of college uniform cards. So I think that's a big part of the conversation that we don't talk about a lot. What are the long-term cards? And that silver college uniform card, while it's pretty cool, is not a long-term card. If we look at Zion last year, I know again we're going to cross over sports. This is cool. Honest Wagner sitting on a bench. We're going to cross over sports, but when Prism came out, when Prism College came out, everybody was buying those Zions, blah, blah, blah. They're the same exact price as they were last year. The same exact price. When regular Prism came out, a base was like $50 raw, and now they're like $250 or $300, and a PSA 10 is like $1,000. College uniform cards, these two, sell. Make your money and sell. I think these are going for $125 as a PSA 10. $10 raw. 10 plus 15 is 25. You get 125 out of it. Move on. Make the next move. Unless for some reason you like the college uniform cards, then buy them. Keep them. Do your thing. Buy 5 more, 6 more. Dominguez PSA 10. Judge SP PSA 10. Yora PSA 9. Yora PSA 9. LeBron Optics, I think there's a bunch of these, so I just want to get through this a little bit quickly. You know, we have a PSA 10 here. I don't know the percentage. I think he only got two or three PSA 10s in that order for those. Ja, again, to me, put this away. I think he's out 3 to 5 weeks, somebody told me. So if he's out 3 to 5 weeks, just stack it. Hold on to it. If you need the money out of it, sell it for the $650, $700. You're still making money on it for sure. Tatum Select, that's a buy card. There's a bunch of Tatum Selects. 4 for 4 on Tatum Selects. Bronze Select Silver. 16th year, second brand silver. Yep, that's definitely a card that I'd want to keep. I hope you guys sense the sarcasm in that one. Giannis red. I guess Merry Christmas with these red and green cards. Montage. In it to win it. International Men of Mystery. Stairmasters. Overdrive. All right, guys, we're getting to the end of the submission. You know, 305 cards. I think a lot of information in this one. And a Heritage Acuna PSA 9 to N. Just to show it up there again. Bulk 155. Those are the dates. 99% got a 9 or better. If you like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button. Click the little bell for notifications. We are putting up a submission. We are putting up a reveal every day that we get an order back, which is basically every single day of the week. So look forward to sharing some more information with you. Comment below. Ask any questions. We're happy to answer them. If you have some requests for videos, we'll do what we can to put them up. And I look forward to the next one, guys. Have a good one.